Hey, it's James, Father's Rights and Resources, hashtag how I got custody. These mother freaking father's rights, parents' rights groups that half-ass the information. I cannot stand when people give you half a piece of information, or they give an incomplete or a slightly twisted version of information. They're misleading you. I just watched the child support is fraud guy. He showed a video of a politician saying how unconstitutional child support is when the division of child support, the administrative side of it, creates a administrative code and then takes your money and then enforces it and then takes your license and certain freedoms away. And it's not something we voted for. We voted over here. So here's the government we voted for. Our legislators and Congress, we send them off to Congress to write laws for we the people to govern ourselves. And then over here is also the judicial branch where judges will enforce and apply the law. Over here is Division of Child Support, administrative side. It's two totally different things. And the child support is fraud guy is such a numbnuts. He has no self-awareness that when he comes across, he has a sign over this page said, child support is unconstitutional. So everybody that's following him thinks all child support is unconstitutional. No, it's not. It's only the part in this building, the Division of Child Support, which is a different building away from the courthouse, maybe on the other side of town or on the other side of the county. This was created by the executive branch or the President's Social Security Administration, DSHS, all those guys, administrative side. We the people write laws about divorce and child support and alimony and stuff, and it can be enforced in a divorce case or a custody battle at the courthouse because we voted those judges in. Now, there's a lot of corruption with that because a judge will retire before the voting season and a governor will replace somebody and put them back in the spot on the bench where that was vacated. And the governor, everybody has a handshake agreement, or you're like, okay, that person, okay, so let's say there's a voting season in 2026 for several judges, but one of the judges retires in 2025, and then the governor appoints somebody to take their place because that person gave him a hand job, or they went to some cocaine party together, or they went to some wife swapping party at a nude beach together, like Jay Inslee and Governor Washington and all his buddies. They replace him, and then a year later, then he has to run for election, and nobody runs against him. Watch when you vote for judges, or when voting season, all the judges that say running unopposed, nobody's running against them because no lawyer has the balls to stand up against a judge that's been sitting there. I say that to say, so I acknowledge the corruption over here in the government, but this government is we the people, our laws, our state statutes allow for judges that we supposedly elected or have a chance to elect supposedly at the courthouse. That is constitutional. You freaking low IQ, unevolved Neanderthal numbnuts who's running around telling everybody in your post child support's unconstitutional. But you don't tell them it's only this administrative side. So half the child support orders out there are unconstitutional, but half of them have went through the legal process, and and then you got people running to court saying, oh, this is unconstitutional, and they look like a bunch of numbnuts, deadbeats who don't want to fight because you have no the child support is fraud guy. Now, that guy says a bunch of stuff that's true about this side. I'm thinking about something like minor league baseball versus major league baseball. Like, nobody pays attention to the minor leagues except like local towns. You don't really pay attention and read about it. Or, the G League until Bronny James got his little welfare handout from his dad, his participation trophy draft pick. Nobody was paying attention to the G League. So there's the real league, and then there's a substitute side farm club league. So here's the real league, the courthouse, and then here's Division of Child Support with administrative judges that are appointed. They can't be voted in because it's all a big secret club. It's administrative. Just like the FAA or IRS or all these different groups that are in the government that we the people didn't vote and create. Licensing departments and stuff like that weren't created by the law. They're created by the administrative code. It's a deception and a lie to give people false hope about something, and they run to court. There's that one black lady who sits in the office, and I remember, I don't know her name. I should probably pick up her name. If I'm going to bash people, I might as well let people know what I'm talking about. But she gets all smiley because she knows a little bit of law. I'm not giving you legal advice, but just like the family court, I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm just telling you what's out there and blah, blah, blah. And she gets, the Supreme Court has said that child support is unconstitutional. The Minnesota Supreme Court said the Minnesota administrative side or division of child support over here, not the courthouse, that's unconstitutional. And then she has everybody thinking it's unconstitutional, so everybody goes to both places and say this is unconstitutional. But watch. If you don't get an appointment with the child support is fraud guy or get on his Zoom class or whatever, when he says stuff, when I tell you guys stuff on my page or on my videos, I tell you where to go look for it. If I'm not going to back up a topic, I'm not going to talk about it. I might say, hey, look, if you want to learn more, go learn about this or go watch this video or go to this resource. But anytime I do tell you something, I'm going to tell you, here's the law, here's the rule, here's some case law. Go look it up yourself. These mother effers don't tell anybody anywhere to get anything for the most part. In fact, the child support is fraud guy. I didn't know. I came across this stuff years ago, and I pop in and pop out, and then I realized he's not telling anybody anything except a little tidbits enough to lure people in, like Judge Anthony. Judge Anthony says, hey, you want to know how to deal with a narcissist? And people are beat down so bad by narcissistic abuse. They're like, oh my God, somebody empathized with me. Let me pay him $750 an hour to talk one-on-one. And he says, you know, this is how you deal with a narcissist, and make sure you kiss the judge's butt, and then make sure you follow all this protocol that's usually a losing cause. Now, he does get testimonies, and he gets testimonies about the same rate that I do. There's a period of time I was watching his testimonies. I'm like, man, this guy has as many testimonies as I do, but he has 1 million followers. So ratio-wise, he's not getting much success compared to me. Actually, I'm outdoing him as far as, I'm not outdoing him, my people are. Anyway, the child support is fun. I just cannot stand numbnut mother effers who have no self-awareness. The Texas Penal Code 2503 guy, he told people, if you're going to represent yourself in court, you're going to lose because they hate you. He's so hopeless. He was such a pathetic, sad sack POS that he got creamed in court. He feels hopeless, so he tells everybody else to feel hopeless. No, I won in court. I show you that I won. And I replied to his video and called BS on that because I get sick of people making this hopeless. That's why I get sick of all the fathers' rights movement groups, 50-50 dads. Fathers are important. Dad Talk Today. All the fathers' rights movement groups. I'm sick of this Fathers Matter 247 now. I liked their stuff at first, but all these people are doing is showing videos of guys losing and getting creamed and sad stories and wine Clive Simone. Hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people watching. And nobody gives people answers on how to fight. But the child support is fraud guy, I just found this out a little bit ago. He won his case and got rid of it because he was not even the dad. Most of you guys are out there, you are the dad, and you're fighting some corruption and stuff. And he says, take care of them kids at the end of all this stuff. Doesn't say anything about possibly getting full custody. He has a case where there was fraud because he wasn't the father. And then he talks about, oh, you got to argue this, there's not a proper date stamp, and the clerk of the court, and the proof of service, and blah, blah. And he's acting all sound and all intellectual and stuff. But he mostly won, it sounds like, because he wasn't the dad, and he's getting all technical about all this other bullshit, like he's some hotshot Johnny Cochran of family court, and everybody's like believing him, and he won his case, but he wasn't even the father. And he attacked the original service, but there's a lot of states where they say in their administrative code that if you mail certified mail to a last known address, even if it comes back returned unclaimed, that's considered service. This mother effing numbnuts doesn't know that. We have that in Washington State. I would never lie to you guys and tell you some I knew wasn't true or I didn't do my due diligence. I'll tell some people like, I don't know about this, that, or specifics, but I do know this, and you can go look it up. I can't stand mother effers who half-ass information because they're mislead. It's like a cult. And this is what all these fathers' rights, POS, mother effing losers do. Because they're too retarded to have the sense and self-awareness to tell people, hey, look, here's the full balance of everything. Not just this, but